Hey there, fellow plebs. Welcome to the Respawn Point. This is Respawn Mondays, a weekly video game show. Here we talk about some of our favorite games while giving you the latest news updates. Join us here on the Respawn Point every week for help getting back into the game. I'm your host, Nick Barry, and with me we have our co-host, Elias Christensen.
Hey, Nick.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good. So this is the audience's 26th time respawning now. Again, up there in numbers. And this week, we're going to talk about why playing video games with friends is so important, not only to us, but many people. And also, we'll go over some weekly news as we do every week. But before we get into that, we'll go over what we've been playing. So, we've been playing, Elias.
Not much, but I have been playing some League of Legends, having fun in ranked games, and we had one for all this week for the April Fool's event. We played a couple games. I think we played one as Scion. What else? One as Scion. Teemo was disabled, which I was sad about.
Because he's Teemo.
Yeah. I think, it's funny. I thought, let's play a game as Teemo. And I Googled it because I couldn't find him in the champion list. And the first thing that popped up was something from like 2013. He's been disabled in One for All for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's never been a thing.
It's a reoccurring thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we had some fun games in there. And then other than that, no PC games. I have been playing this mobile game that I play, Eggs. I think I've showed you, Eggs Inc.
Yeah.
It's funny, it came out probably like the 24th or something. And I had been saying, because on their App Store page, it said like big update, early 2018. And so like I was like, if he doesn't come out before April, I'm like done.
Right.
Because I've been waiting for too long. But it came out, and I put probably too many hours into that. But it is a lot of fun, and they've actually brought co-op into it, so it's like a clicker game with co-op, which is interesting. There's like contracts that you can work together on to farm all the eggs. So yeah, that's what it was a busy week, so I wasn't able to get to the PC. I spent some time on the phone.
Yeah.
How about you? What have you been playing?
I've been a little busy too, but mostly just Fortnite. I play a little bit of PUBG. Mostly I play some little bit before the show. Besides that, not too much because Fortnite is taking over. I will admit, I bought the beginner pack for Fortnite.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because
Nice.
it was such a good deal. Like, a really cool skin.
Yeah.
600 V-Bucks. And I think it came with like a backpack too.
Yeah.
For like
That's not
$5.
bad. Yeah.
You're already getting the value in the V-Bucks, and you get a skin. That's pretty cool. So I went for it. Because my skin in the Battle Pass I was getting sick of because I haven't gotten far enough to unlock the next one. So I'm like, well, what's $5?
What's $5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. What Fortnite does a lot better than PUBG, whereas they make things appealing that are reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of their skins, like we've talked about, are too expensive in my opinion, but like some of the stuff like their battle pass or like this was like fairly priced in my opinion. And you know what you're getting. With PUBG, you don't know.
It attracts a different crowd of people. I think part of the reason CSGO has been so successful with like essentially gambling microtransactions by buying cases and unlocking them is there's people who like to gamble. Yeah. So I think it'll just attract a different crowd.
Yeah, that's true. But besides that, I did get to play a little bit of Sea of Thieves, a game that came out recently, because my brother got an Xbox.
Oh.
And the bundle he got, there's only like 2 bundles, he said. I forgot what the other one was, but it was a Sea of Thieves bundle.
Okay.
So he didn't necessarily want the game, but it just came with the bundle for a good price. So we played it last night. And it was fun for like the first hour.
Your younger brother?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we played for like an hour. At least I did. And I got like the hang of everything. We did a couple quests. And then that was it. And I was satisfied. I don't...
You didn't feel like playing it anymore?
I could see the appeal if like you're playing with like your friends. Like if you have like 3 other friends and you want to play, I'm sure it'd be really fun. But just playing by myself, and then I did try to jump in with like random people, but it seemed kind of disorganized at one point. Like I stole their ship and they didn't care; they kind of just left. I'm not sure exactly how the matchmaking works because people can just leave whenever, and then like new people will jump in.
Okay.
So like it's kind of confusing as to who really is like the host, who's like I don't know. There's no real captain or anything like that, so it was a little confusing. But my brother texted me this morning though. He was playing because of the snow delay.
Yeah.
And he was like, he texted me and said, I stole someone's boat and then they locked me up in their prison. Because I guess there's a vote option in the options to lock someone in the
Put them in the brig.
Put them in the brig. So you need at least 2 votes, and so because he stole their boat, that's what happened.
Nice. That's
so there's a lot of cool things like that. Like even if like say like you crash into an island and you beach your boat, it will just kind of like roll back into the water, but you'll have holes
that you need to patch.
And then you even need to like take your bucket and like get the water out.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's definitely
it does
interactive.
Get stuff like that, right? Like it's a fun hangout game almost, you know, where you know you can drink, you can make your character drink a bunch of beer, or you can stumble upon another team and you have a little bit of fighting. So it does look neat. It reminds me a bit of a game came out a while ago. It was some cleaning crew game. It was like a 4-player. They like were Nazi janitors, and you're just cleaning up the remains after the Nazis came through. It was like all cartoony, and so it was like futuristic space Nazis or something.
Okay.
So you're just like cleaning up like alien blood and like all this stuff. But there was a bunch of random things that would happen to you, or that you could do, interactions with the world and stuff like that. Sort of reminds me of that game.
Yeah. Yeah, there like the stuff it does it pretty good. But yeah, I just wish there was more things to be able to do. Like there's literally 3 different quest lines, but they're not really, they didn't, at least on the surface, they didn't seem like actual quest lines. Like, okay, like this is a story quest, kind of like say like in Skyrim or something. There's at least a story to it. It just kind of seemed like you buy quests and it's like the same thing every time. You just go to different locations. Say one is digging up buried treasure, one is fighting skeletons, and then the last one is, you know, collecting pigs or something. And it just seemed kind of shallow. Like it seems like what you would do once you beat the story and you want to keep playing. There's like these like things you can do endlessly
to keep progressing and stuff.
Yeah, but there is.
So there is a story behind all that?
No,
there isn't. I thought you. Okay.
No, that's the thing, is that there is no real story. At least not that I can see. Because when you start the game, they literally throw you onto the island, and you have to figure everything out on your own. Which it took me probably about 15 minutes to try to understand what was going on, and it helped that I had read up the reviews on the game.
Well, that does remind me of Ark. Like, you have to figure out a lot of stuff. There's no real tutorial, but I don't know if that game is intended to be a survival game.
No, not really, because they throw you in with everything you need, and they're just basically go take your boat and go do stuff, which would work if I think they did it differently. Am I like I wanted more of a progression type game, I suppose, where maybe you start off with like bare essentials, like you have like maybe a compass and like a sword, but you literally start off with like a sword, a bucket, you know, one of those telescope type things, a gun, everything you need, which is it's just a different way to do it. But at the same time, I thought it would have been cooler if say you start off with a bare minimum, you have to work your way up. And you can, you know, buy different upgrades, different weapons, maybe even upgrade your boat. You start off with the boats are all the same. So like you just jump on one and go. Yeah. And there's no real penalty to losing your boat besides having to go back to the closest island. It's actually funny though. Cause on the front of the boat, you can stand out on the very tip and you can like scope and stuff. And so I guess there's some type of like charge attack with the sword where if you hold down the attack button, you'll kind of like charge up and you'll thrust forward like a strong attack. I didn't know what I was doing, so I ended up thrusting myself into the ocean. Oh. And then my boat was still going full speed into an island. Oh. And it beached. Nice. It was I was dying though. It was funny. So I didn't see any other people like playing online though to like fight against. So out of the online aspect, I didn't run into anyone.
And on the Xbox version, you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a little, yeah.
which you
I
think
think it probably has a stronger hold in the PC community, but I don't know.
I don't know.
would expect to see some people on there on Xbox.
Yeah. So I didn't get to get into any crazy, boat cannon battles. So I don't know. I could see playing with friends. It could be fun, but again, like a lot of people are saying it, I think it would run dry.
I think gaming with friends. We're gonna talk about this later a little bit, but I think it's a pretty choked market right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, but if you're into being a pirate, the game is definitely for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But all right, that wraps up for what we've been playing the past week. So moving on to the news, the first thing we want to talk about is the new 4x4 kilometer map for PUBG. The testing period is actually April 2nd through the 5th, and we're recording on Monday, which is the 2nd. So we'll be trying this out after the show tonight. It goes live at 10 p.m. Eastern. So unfortunately, we weren't able to play before the show to give you guys first impressions, but we'll probably talk about it next week. It's a key only, so it's a closed beta. You can still go over, if you go on to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Twitter, you can follow the link there. I'm sure it's on their main website too, but if you follow the link, they'll give you a code. We tried it right before the show.
We just did it right before the show to get me in.
So depending when you're listening to this, there may not be any keys left. But if you're listening live, then you can go over right now and probably get a key.
Yep.
So we'll let you know next week as far as to how that map plays out. We'll be playing after the show. Kind of excited for it. They've said that it's only first person, which is okay because that's what we play in. It's also solo only, so
okay,
which is fine. They're saying it's a very early test of the map. That's why they're throwing out keys because it's not.
Yeah, and they don't want to be running multiple queues, and it would just lead to long queue times if they're only giving it out to so many people.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, there was a new event mode over the weekend, which is now finished, but it was called something like flare gun mode. It seemed lame, so I didn't play it.
Well, so flare gun, that's what Shroud was testing out on his stream a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so they added flare guns to the custom mode, and now over the weekend they added it to like normal matches, and it wasn't anything I would call like an event mode. It was almost just like them testing the flare gun for the game.
Like, because the flare gun could just be in the game. I don't think it'd be that different.
Like, it's not like
it's still going to be a risk versus reward scenario. Like, you're still going to have people are going to be going for the flare guns and then trying to get in circle. It's not as like cartoonish it's as an event mode should be, or at least epic, like themed.
What would have been better is if they made the event mode flare gun as there's only flare guns as the world pickups. So there's no normal weapons. You have to pick up a flare gun, and there's a bunch of them. But then you have to shoot them up, and then that's how you get your weapons.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but you just start with everyone starts with a flare gun.
You start with a flare gun. That'd be like
just planes.
I mean, yeah, maybe that would.
You can't hear anything for 2 minutes.
But see, that I think would classify as an event mode.
Yeah.
Not like it honestly just felt like a test. So that's why I didn't try it. I mean, I don't even know what kind of drop rates for the flare gun there were.
I don't know what it would have been in that. Shroud was saying in the custom mode there were like maybe up to 10, between 7 and 10, because he had Wadu, Banana Man, and some other guy testing with him. They had 4 people, and they each were assigned to get 2 or 3 and meet back by school. And I think they were able to get like 6 or 7.
Okay.
So, yeah, if it's that doesn't seem that fun.
No.
If there was more, maybe it was fun.
It honestly just seemed like a test.
Yeah.
Which was kind of lame. Like Fortnite's crushing it with their event modes, and PUBG's
all snipers.
PUBG's like trying to like match it, but then they just throw out this. I literally read the title. I'm like, that's it.
I think they're torn. Like, they want to keep it realistic. They like what they make, but
there's definite ways to make it like to fit PUBG, fit the realism, but also make it unique, like a unique mode.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it was like, only third person.
Something I would think like
who plays only third person.
It was only third person. A lot of people do play in third person, but
I think the like we were talking about the community manager for PUBG. He said that over in Korea it was nearly 100% we're playing in third person, but here he said it was like a split.
Oh, like 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think a fun game mode would be just all vehicle spawns spawn, but they only spawn motorcycles.
Yeah.
That's fun. And turn off the weapons. Turn off weapons.
see, like honestly though, that would be a unique, cool mode.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it wouldn't work out, but that's why you do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think
There's ways to do it. I think that hopefully they'll work it out and figure out what works.
yeah, it seems like they're doing a new mode every weekend.
Well, that's cool. That's pretty ambitious though. I
It is ambitious.
I would do one a month and just leave it on. You know.
Well, if they're lame every week, like this past one, then
yeah.
so but we'll keep an eye on that. Honestly, the 4x4 map is what I'm excited to play it tonight. Like, because it's a quarter of the size, still 100 people. Like, I'm interested to see how it's gonna go. And I don't know, you probably didn't look. Someone uploaded a picture of the mini map for it.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. There's a because because we've looked at the concept art. It's basically that, but there's kind of like it's broken up into 3 pieces. The island, and so in between is like it's called like Watertown or something.
Oh.
So it kind of like connects the 2 islands with
neat.
a town.
Yeah.
So like, looks pretty sick. Looks awesome. And then there's like I forget what it's called. There's a big place in the middle, which would be like the school.
Or
Picado. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Moving on to Fortnite, we have rumors. I didn't really dig this one up.
I heard of this, but I didn't look any deeper than this. Oh, okay.
So there's rumors of a comet in the sky signaling the destruction of Tilted Towers. So people are theorizing this will happen because Tilted Towers is, the hot spot. Some people think it's unbalanced, but high risk, high reward.
Yeah, I mean everywhere's gonna have a school, or I mean
you kind of need it to balance out the rest of them.
The best loot,
So, regardless, the what was it? The battle? Oh, because the battle pass this season has been space themed with astronaut skins, as with different emotes. And then there was someone who translated random controller vibrations, into Morse code, which turned out to be SOS D5 418. Now, SOS is self-explanatory. D5 is actually where Tilted Towers is located on the grid map.
Yeah.
And then 418, it could either be April 2018 or the 18th of April.
Yeah.
So
that if they're that deep, that's pretty intense. Like, and what if they weren't even sending it to everybody? Right. They just knew this guy knew Morse. I don't know. It just seems funny.
Well, because who
would think to do that?
I don't know.
If my controller started vibrating without me telling it to, or like not playing any games, I'd be like, FBI guy, what's going on?
Yeah. So the full story is that people are reporting the so-called bug of their controller vibrating when it's not supposed to. So I mean, if it's for multiple people, I don't know. I don't know if they'd be that deep about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it somehow translates to that, maybe it's real.
Pretty neat, yeah.
But that's about it. The sniper shootout mode is still live. You played it, right?
No, I have not played it yet.
Okay, we've been playing it a ton. It's really fun. It's honestly like the past 2 modes, the Blitz and then this one, have been just as fun as the main game, if not more fun. It's just a different way to play. It gets you a lot of practice with sniping.
That's good.
It makes all the battles completely different because up close you're just constantly missing.
Yeah.
And then it also gives you a chance to, really try for those long shots.
That's cool.
So I've had a couple. I've had like 2 200-meter shots. So it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm not good, but I somehow hit those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's really fun though. The event modes for Fortnite are like league caliber, like the Earth mode.
Yeah.
So
everybody did events for this weekend.
Yeah, well,
League.
yeah,
Well,
holiday.
yeah, it's
The holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fortnite also they had the impulse grenade.
Grenades are double the distance.
Yeah, so that was just for the day, so that's over. But yeah, that's about it for Fortnite as well. Nothing crazy. There are new skins in Fortnite as well for the holiday, but besides that, it's all the same. We'll update you if there's a patch for next week. But moving on, we have CS:GO. There's a patch for this game on March 29th. If
Yeah. So the biggest ticket item on this patch, there's a lot of small stuff having to do with surround sound, and some stuff for map builders. But the biggest thing that everybody's probably talking about right now is that CS:GO items received in trade cannot be retraded for 7 days, which essentially I mean, I get the purpose that for websites like gambling websites that are making money off of Valve that they don't necessarily want other people to make essentially free money. I get that they don't want that involved, but there are legitimate websites that add a service to the community that's valued, like skin trading websites where you could potentially get real money for your skins. I think that this is a bit excessive. I know a lot of people just don't want this at all. I think that maybe we could, even a 24-hour trade ban would be perfect enough time to, if these websites don't want to go through the trouble, they're not going to. Skin trading websites, you can deal with if you need a couple, depending on what you're selling out, you need a couple $100. Like you got to cash out your knife so you can pay rent. You can wait a day. Like that's not a big deal. Maybe 2 days to get it into your PayPal. But it's going to help for things like maybe you got scammed. The guy said he was going to PayPal you money, which you don't ever ever do that.
Right.
But if you did listen to that person, he's not going to be able to trade it to a website for 24 hours. And even then, he's not going to be able to get the money for 24 hours. So that would give time for you to email Valve and tell them, hey, this guy, this account. And they could potentially recover that skin for you. I think 24 hours is a reasonable amount. I did notice it was funny. Okay, so the change.org petition has 120,000. I'll put the link in the description. But it has 120,000 signatures almost. And it's just been a couple of days. I think people are quite against this. I made a couple Twitter posts about it. I thought it was funny. Like Cruxel liked them all, except for the one where I said I think 24 hours is reasonable.
He's like, no. Nothing.
But I get that perspective as well. So it's a pretty controversial topic. It'll be interesting to see. Valve did say they were open to suggestions on it in the blog post that they made. So if you have an opinion, go voice it. Other than that, a few small, even more changes. Okay, so this is probably the third time this year that Valve has made changes to canals. So I really think they want it in the competitive map pool. Same with, I think Dust 2 is going to come back. They just made some changes this time. They removed one-way wallbang from CT spawn up to cat, which I never knew existed. So thank you for never. You could have just not told anybody it was there, made it disappear. Then they fixed some minor bugs and they made a fix for MIP bias exploit, which I don't know. So they're just trying to make it run smoother and be more competitively viable. I'd say the biggest changes happened on Nuke. They moved Squeaky Door back a bit to give a clearer view towards Hut. So essentially, if you have Squeaky Door open, you should be able to see the entrance to Hut. I don't like this change as much because I do like to hide next to vents. I find I usually can get a double or a triple if T's are rushing Squeaky to vents. So I don't know. We'll see. It just leaves you a little bit more open. Like they have more opportunity to see you in their peripheral vision. They changed the geometry near crane when on rafters to remove awkward position. They smoothed out movement on roof near T-spawn. They changed the color of new boxes in bomb site B. They made a blue, which is interesting. I think you're going to stick out more next to them because the walls are blue too, so you'll look very different.
Right, yeah.
I sort of liked them as orange, but the blue's fine as well. And then they changed the color of a small red box at T side of yard. Okay. that seems small. And they added some cover at the back of Squeaky Door Hall. It's very slight. It's at an angle, so it's not like full cover, it's just slight cover. So yeah, that's the changes. It feels like they really want everything to be competitively viable, which is interesting. They've been making so many changes, which is really cool to see that they're so active in changing a game 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want less hackers, and so like I would like them to work on matchmaking a little bit more.
Well, we know people who like PUBG feel opposite. They say, fix your game. Don't worry about the hackers.
Yeah, yeah, true. Well, that's the thing is that game already runs pretty well. Like,
Not according to some people.
well, I mean in CS:GO.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
they're really focused on competitive though. Like
That's the other thing is PUBG doesn't really have a true competitive mode or any type of scene in esports yet.
not very slight. I mean,
Very
they have
slight.
that invitational.
Yeah,
I think
but
they have a few events at big things, but it's not
not
major.
like yeah.
Yeah.
But talking about CS:GO, me and Jake were talking about it, how we want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how we need to learn a different map besides cash because
Mhm.
when we queue together, we cannot find competitive on cash.
Oh, okay.
It just
The
I don't-
queue goes for so long.
it goes for so long. I just don't
It's
think.
probably too because you guys aren't ranked yet.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you could just queue for the whole map pool. I would. Oh, so I'll,
Well, we were talking about maybe we should learn Dust because that's the most popular.
it is the most popular. yeah.
Maybe if we learn that map, we can actually get ranked by playing that map. Might help.
It might. I'll link you guys. You can Google image search CS:GO callouts,
Yeah.
and there will be pictures of the
Okay.
map with the callouts over them, like a top-down view of the
Yeah.
mini map.
Yeah, we were talking about maybe even playing just Demolition not competitively on that map to get the hang of it before we piss people off.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Not a big deal.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I mean either way, it's as a new person to CS:GO, it's still fun. Like it changed. Like sometimes I'm just in the mood to not play a battle royale game.
yeah,
Like
yeah. And I like it because it's 5v5. There's multiple. I don't. It sort of almost feels like it's more reminiscent of a MOBA than like a battle royale or like normal.
I
FPS
like
gameplay.
I like how there's rounds.
Mhm.
You know, it's elimination type match.
Mhm.
I mean, there's so many rounds too. There's a lot of strategy behind it. Obviously, there's the fact that you have to be good at aiming.
Yeah, you have to be good at aiming, but you also have to be good with your money and work as a team on buys. You know.
Because there's even like I've thought about this with like say Battlefront, which is obviously not nowhere near competitive as CS:GO, but like even if they had a type mode where it was just a little bit more competitive, whether you had a mode or not, just something to make it more round based or something along those lines. Because sometimes that game is just too casual. There's no structure.
It's just weird because every once in a while you get a person that comes in and they're just a god, like you know.
Yeah.
So the matchmaking is not nowhere near as accurate either. In Battlefront.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah.
So, that's about it for the news.
Yep.
Before we get into our discussion, I just want to backtrack a little bit back to Fortnite. We did end up playing cross-platform a little bit.
Okay.
We had my brother playing a little bit, but we also played with our friends Zach and Travis who play on PlayStation. And let me tell you, it's pretty seamless.
Yeah.
Like, if you play it, it almost makes you wonder, like, why aren't all games cross-platform? Even for PC, if you believe it, like, you wouldn't really know the difference. Honestly, like, say, for example, with the sniper mode, PlayStation players are actually better.
Wow.
Because they have aim assist.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a
There
half
isn't-
aimbot.
Isn't there aim assist in on the PC?
No,
It's not an option. Didn't PUBG have an option for that?
I don't think so.
Makes no sense that PUBG would have it. I'm misremembering something.
I don't know.
There was some
but,
game we were playing recently with aim assist on it. I
But
thought.
because of like the snipers up close, like it's so hard on PC just because it is. Whereas on PlayStation, they have that little bit of aim assist, and we could tell right away that because once a PlayStation player jumps over to PC, you then enable the whole match to be open to both to any platform. So you get not everyone is a PlayStation user, but sometimes you get those, and you because they instantly hit you.
What's interesting is like on that thought of like making games multiplayer, like why shouldn't all games be cross-platform multiplayer? I think Fortnite's just okay with not being like a super competitive, edgy game. You know, they're the game that everyone plays.
Yeah.
On their phone, on their
PS4. It's all one thing.
It's everywhere. Yeah. So I think they're just okay with that. And if you're okay with that, and people just think it's a fun game,
honestly, like why it worked was because when we were playing with a PlayStation user, whether it was Travis or Zach, we were just playing together. It wasn't like he felt at a disadvantage because he wasn't on a PC. He was comfortable with that, and he didn't really know a difference. The one major advantage you would have on a PC is building is a lot easier and faster, whereas honestly, like aiming is probably easier on a console because if that's what you're used to, the aim assist and helps you as well. You can sometimes just be better.
Yeah.
I mean, because with PC, it's so like you could be on or really off.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there to help you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting just to think like the game's just okay with that. Like for a long time, games didn't want to be cross-platform because there would be an advantage or a disadvantage for players.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So maybe, it's just not a big deal.
Yeah.
For a fun game.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That's why, like, obviously, if it's a competitive game, it wouldn't work. But if it's a casual game, I think it does. And as far as between Xbox and PlayStation has always put a kibosh to it as far as not allowing it. But there's kind of a backdoor to it if you have a PC user friend, because he can invite both of you, and you're technically playing together. So
that's interesting. Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's especially because it's free. Like, it's so big. It's free. You can play with whomever on whatever platform. Obviously, you can't do PlayStation, Xbox yet. But if you have a PC friend, then
you can all hook up.
You can all hook up. You got your iPad. You can hook up. It's crazy. It's cool though. So, but yeah, it was just an observation I made the past week when we tried it. So, but in line with playing games with friends, we're just gonna spend a little bit of time to talking about playing games with friends and why it's so important. So, I guess I'll ask you first. Why for you personally? Why do you think playing online games with friends is important, or to you?
I don't know. I go back and forth on. I want to play games with friends. That is like I think I would typically prefer it, but sometimes like if I just want to queue and like work on getting better at a game, I don't want to play with friends. But I think it's like sort of comes down to like, okay, well, what else would I do with my friends? Like I don't play a sport like I don't play a sport. I used to go to the gym, but not much anymore. So. Like, I don't play golf. I don't, I mean, you work on cars and stuff, but it's not like a constant thing where we always have a project. So.
It's like that social aspect of.
Yeah, like, what do you do on a weeknight? I don't know.
Right.
I play video games.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, we either go out with your friends and hang out with them or in the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, I think it's nice to be able to, like, you know, you're still, like, with your loved ones. You could still take care of something if you need to take care of something. It's not like a high pressure, like, okay, can I go out?
Like a big commitment.
You need to make plans. Like, it's just, are you on? Yeah, you want to play a game? Okay. Yeah, let's play a game. And then you can walk away from it, like, afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it is it's just an easier way to hang out with your friends. It's also a good way to make new friends. Like, we have tons of friends from Wisconsin. Like, I mean, so basically through you.
Solely through, obviously it was with Facebook, but solely through League of Legends.
Yeah,
it was because we both played that game. I think at the time it was like my profile banner, and he was like, "Dude, like let's play." And after a little bit, we got together, and now we have like a bunch of friends out there.
Yeah, the amount of time we spend in Discord and used to spend in Dolby Atmos.
Right.
It's pretty incredible, like how many new friends you can make on the internet. Like even the other night we were playing League, and one of our friends from ARC that I've known Diamandis for like 2 years now, and I just play random games with them, like just because I had a good time. Like, I think it's just like a new tool for making friends and stuff. Like, you don't have to go to bars to meet people anymore.
Right. Yeah, and I know for like me, like I don't know if it was because the generation of games changed or just the fact that once I jumped over to PC gaming, that kind of really opened, because when I played like PlayStation in the past, like I mean, I guess
Every once in a while you try to like link up with your friend.
yeah,
But it
it
depended
wasn't
on the game.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like when I would play on a console, I was mainly playing by myself, and that was the sole purpose of it. But once I switched over to PC, especially with like League of Legends, it's like all you did was play with your friends. I mean, I started out that game playing by myself, but I got to the point where I wouldn't play with by myself. And that's how I am now. Like I don't play games by myself.
Yeah.
Like very very rarely. It would have to be like a brand new game that I was like really into for me to play by myself. But if it's any of these battle royale games or CS:GO, really anything, like if no one's on, I'll just sit on my couch with my wife.
Yeah.
If someone jumps on, and be like, maybe I'll get on in a little bit.
Yeah, it's like
And having Discord on your phone, it's like, oh, I know this person's on. I know they're playing this game.
yeah, and in that sense, it's a flexible hobby as well. Like, you don't need to go to the golf course or driving range, or like, it's all right there in your house.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
We sound super lazy right now, but
it's a hallmark of our generation that we don't leave. We order everything on Amazon. Like, I think the people I have a PO box. I think the people at my post office are like, "What does this guy run an eBay store?" Or like, because I'm always getting packages. Just because I order everything. I don't go to CVS. Like, I just order everything from Amazon.
yeah, and you know, when it's winter months too, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you ski or snowboard, there's really nothing better to do in the winter besides just play games.
Yeah, and I used to ski and snowboard, and I don't do that as much.
No, I don't.
Anymore.
I don't do that anymore either.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, last time I went snowboarding, I tore my shoulder just getting up from having strapped in.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
I just rolled over on it wrong, and I was like, okay, I guess I can't go outside anymore. Like, my body's so frail and weak, I can't roll over.
Yeah,
I still snowboarded down. I even went off a jump. But,
yeah.
but
Well, the same thing with Ethan. He stopped after he hurt himself twice in a row.
Yeah, I
night.
want to get back into it, but it's just been a while, and like I should probably get a new board. I don't know.
It's money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a lot of money compared to like a computer, but
That's true.
like if you spend like $1,500 on your computer, it's like
that's
all your
that's a
gear.
good point.
A season pass is like $500, maybe $600 at Sundown,
So
$800
ridiculous.
in other places.
So much.
It's only you got to go like 10 times in a year.
Yeah. If it's during the day.
Depending on the hours.
Yeah, dude. The day passes there.
Are they up like?
They're like $60.
Yeah.
Or like maybe like 56.
They like Sundown doesn't really have the. Sundown's in a weird spot because it's like, it's a small mountain, and they make all the snow.
Yeah. And if it's
to start out.
Yeah, if it's a bad winter, you don't get a lot of business.
they put so much money into their snowmaking equipment that they have to charge that much.
Yeah.
But it's not really worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, for me, it's not practical trying to get someone to come in who isn't like super gun ho. And even if you do, you gotta be spending a lot of money. If you're a day skier, which I mean, I usually night ski anyways, which is a little bit cheaper. If you're a day skier, I don't know how you would afford it without getting a season pass.
Yeah. No, which is what other people do in Vermont. Like.
Oh yeah, but then you have a place like Butternut, which is like $25 during the day. They don't have night skiing, but you can go during the week, and it's only $25.
That's nice.
For like, I think like 8 hours or whatever.
And they're decent sized, right?
Oh, it's way bigger than Sundown.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, when
is Sundown opening up the back? Weren't they supposed to be?
that
building
that was
trail?
a rumor. I don't think it ever happened.
Never happened. Okay.
No.
Welcome
I don't know.
welcome to Respawn Skiing.
Yeah. So, but no, because kind of along with what we're talking about, but skiing used to be a very social thing for me.
Yeah.
Where when I was a teenager in like 18 and stuff, that's literally what all the people my age did.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. Yeah, everybody was just snowboarding. Or
and then once I kind of grew out of that phase and all of those people, I just moved on to gaming, and all my friends are there. And honestly, when they're not on, I don't play.
Plus, I find even if people like, it was funny that Jake posted some snapshots of him golfing yesterday. I'm like, since when does Jake golf? Like,
Jake golfs.
who golfs?
Jake does.
I know a ton of people that golf, but I just never was gonna get into it. I guess I could. I get into a lot of things, but I just don't want to get into golfing for some reason. So I think no matter what you're into, like you can be into a ton of different things. Most people play video games. You know? Even if you're not like a big PC gamer, you probably maybe have a laptop or something you want to play on, and you know.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have other things in common with your friends, it's typically a common space.
I think it is funny how, I mean, I could totally be wrong, but I think like the PC community, as far as if you're a PC gamer, I think you're much more social than if you're a console gamer. Like, not to say obviously console gamers play together, but I think it's, for some reason, it's easier to sit on a couch playing a console by yourself than it is to be at a PC.
Mm-hmm.
I could totally be wrong. I mean, it's probably just my personal feelings about it, but I don't know.
I think that, I mean, obviously you don't want to make like a blanket statement for that. Like,
No.
I think it's just more often than not,
Yeah.
PC players group up more. I think at a PC you already feel a little more isolated than you would on a couch, maybe in your family's living room or, you know, with a loved one or something. Like, you already have a social interaction going on there.
Yeah.
But at a PC, you don't, unless you make one. So you get in TeamSpeak and all this stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, my wife hates when I'm at the computer when I was playing Monster Hunter every day, she, like, you know, well, I still played a lot, but she, like, loved it because I could still be on the couch and she could sit next to me.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're at a computer, you're, you know, there by yourself.
Yeah, you're alone. Like, even though your computer's, like, 10
it's right
feet
there
from the couch.
It's not like I'm in a different room.
Yeah. But you are cut off.
Yeah.
It was funny, the way, I mean, it is sort of still like that now, but it used to be like so I'm sitting at my desk here, and then over here was my wife sitting on the couch, like literally arm's distance, like we could high five, watching TV, and I'd be playing or streaming or whatever, and I'd be like watching TV, and then I'd ask my wife a question about the show, and she would get so annoyed at me. She's like, "Stop! Like,
Oh, I do that all the time.
do one thing at a time. Stop making me pause the show."
Well, so my computer is, you know, in the corner, then the TV is right next to me.
Yeah, you can watch the thing the whole time.
I can just back up a little bit and watch what's going on, and then lots of times I'll just take an ear off and I'll ask her a question about what's going on in the show. I'm passively watching Pretty Little Liars, all 7 seasons.
Yeah,
I know almost everything going on by passively watching it.
I still do that a little bit. I do get through certain shows. Like, if she's gonna watch a show on Netflix, I'm like, I got the basics of it. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah. No, she did that with Gilmore Girls too.
Yeah.
And it was.
You've seen all of Gilmore Girls?
I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, me too.
I understand a lot of the.
I mean, it's not a bad show necessarily.
No.
I do think one thing I don't like about Gilmore Girls, weird topics today, is they really will sacrifice like a scene to always have like dialogue, like zingers. Everyone's got comebacks.
Yeah.
Like, whereas sometimes I just want people to like slow down, let what that person said just sink in. Like, I don't think
it's
normal.
Like it's like the style.
It's not normal life. It's just like the way the show is.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'd want like a moment to rest for a little bit, but then I'm like, oh, okay, we get it. You got what they said.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but I mean, as far as that topic goes, I would say it's pretty important for me. And I don't know, the generation of gaming today is just geared that way. You don't have nearly as many. You still have the single player games, but not nearly as many as it used to be. And then even lots of times those games have a co-op mode or some type of multiplayer aspect to it. I mean, I remember
Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the day when multiplayer was like not only not a thing, but like it was like frowned upon.
Yeah.
At least maybe for me, like it was like, well, especially with, like the PS2, like you need to buy a multi-tap just to connect to the internet.
Yep.
Back in the day. It was co-op. It was couch co-op. It was no playing online. So I guess that's the transition.
I think
really.
before they were just like different games. Like you bought your games, and then you bought a game or two so that your friends could come over and play.
Yeah.
And then eventually it got to like I think Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 4 was one of the first games where it had like online competitions and stuff like that. So I would play that a little bit. And that was the first experience I remember plugging my PS2 into the internet. But I think like as the PS3 came around, then it was like, okay, this is neat that some games have co-op stuff, but usually it stunk. And I just wanted like better experiences or to just play a whole multiplayer game. Like that's when like Call of Duty really started picking up and like people were like just playing multiplayer games. But there wasn't like small multiplayer games. Like I think co-op really stunk back then. And now we have games that are all co-op. Like Fortnite and Battle Royale, it is a multiplayer game, but because you can play squads, it has this great co-op sense. You got Monster Hunter.
Because it really honestly just it took what we already did with playing couch co-op, with playing with our friends that were there, and just made it so you could do it at each other's houses.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is kind of just the way technology works today. But it is... What am I trying to say? Lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Okay.
I had something. I'll get back to it.
Yeah. So I just think that, like, there's so many co-op games out right now, like Fortnite, PUBG, Monster Hunter. I want to play Deep Rock Galactic. I haven't really played much of that. There was some other game that just came out that I wanted to play. Oh, Far Cry 5 has a co-op, doesn't it? Am I wrong?
I think it does.
Yeah, like I feel like every other day there's a new game announced for.
It does. Yeah,
with 4-player co-op.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that I remember when they started not having the couch co-op option.
Mm-hmm.
It was you could play, but they had to have a console and they needed to have a copy of the game, and you can play online. I remember at the time that was a really big deal. It was like I hated how they were going
Your friends
that way.
had to buy another copy.
Yeah,
of the
it was
game.
like, well, what if they're over? Like we can't play together. They need to have and you know when you're younger, you don't have money to do that kind of thing. Yeah. But now being older,
plus the other person might not have an Xbox. They might have a PS4, and then there was a whole thing: can we cross-platform? And
so like, but you know, not having a PC, that's just how it is. Everyone has. If you're playing with PC players, then they have their own computer. And that's just how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, even for example, like when the first Battlefront came out, the newer first one, Jake would come over and he would bring his PS4 and a TV, and that's how we played. It wasn't, you know, and now and today, for me, it's not a big deal to not have couch co-op. I mean, it'd be nice, but at the same time, just bring your console over. We can still play together. Yeah. It will just be we have our own TV, so we don't have to split that screen anymore.
Some PC games do offer that option as well. Like Rocket League offers that. You can play 2-player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2-player co-op.
Oh,
like you play like a duos game.
Yeah.
I remember I did it like so. Like when you and Connor, when I had my knee surgery, and you and Connor were playing Borderlands, I had Spencer play Rocket League. He was on my computer. I had an Xbox controller playing on the TV, and it was still split screen up and down. Yeah. But, you know.
Yeah. I would say, Borderlands is like the one game that was like, we're going to do this anyways. And we're going to do it good.
Yeah.
Because, that game is really fun, couch co-op. If you have a big enough TV, you can do up to 4 players.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, and they'd still offer online co-op as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome. So... Yeah, hopefully Borderlands 3 comes out someday.
Maybe. I'm still working on Borderlands 2 with Cooper. We haven't played in a while.
Right, yeah.
Should get back to that.
Right, yeah. But I think that kind of wraps up that topic, and that's kind of the show for the week, actually. A little bit shorter episode, but there wasn't too much going on with news, which is okay. We do have polls and trivia, though. We had a question last week because Elias was thinking about shaving his head. So we asked our Twitter followers, should Elias shave his head? And we had 67% say no. So you don't have to.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. So along with our topic this week, our new question that will be posted after the show is, how important is playing video games with friends to you? And we'll have a couple different options there. So if you want to answer that, you can go over to our Twitter at Respawn Mondays. But to close out the show, if you guys want to watch us live, we do do the show live on Twitch at 8 p.m. on Mondays. like today. You can go follow us over on Twitter at Respawn Mondays. We have our archive of videos, if you've missed any, on YouTube at Respawn Mondays. And, of course, we have our podcasts, many places you find podcasts, at Respawn Mondays. So you can follow me personally at NikkiGirl7 if you so desire on Twitter. What about you, Elias?
You can find me at Tolmath, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and also Instagram. TOLMAEITH. I try to stream most days of the week, but I was a little busy this past week, and I've been playing a lot of League, so it's not as varied. But like we said, we're going to be playing some of the PUBG 4x4 map tonight after that goes live in like 45 minutes. I mean, we might not be live in 45 minutes, but that's when it's up. Probably should be some Kingdom Hearts tomorrow, and then some League on Wednesday. So if you're interested in any of that, stop by.
Cool. All right, if you are watching this live, you'll probably notice the new mic setup.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening, maybe we sound different. I don't know yet because I haven't edited the podcast. But let us know if we sound better or worse. You can email us at respawn.mondays@gmail.com. And you can also ask us a question there or just let us know how we're doing. You can also leave us a review on iTunes. That will help us out. And then we also do have a Patreon account at patreon.com/respawnmondays, and you can throw us a tip there. But besides that, that's pretty much our show this week. Catch us next week for more news and video game talk. Yeah. So I'm Nick Berry.
And I'm Elias Christensen.
And thanks for respawning with us.
We'll see you next week.